For over 2,000 years, the story of Atlantis has captivated us. A mighty empire, advanced beyond its time, punished by the gods, and swallowed whole by the sea. But this isn't just a story. It's become the greatest cold case in human history, and we have spent centuries searching for it. We've looked for it in the Mediterranean, with some claiming the Minoan civilization on the island of Thera was the real Atlantis. But the timing, location, and description don't quite fit Plato's account. We followed psychic readings to the Bimini Road in the Bahamas, and for decades we've scoured the floor of the Atlantic, from the Azores to the Caribbean, convinced the evidence must lie beneath the waves. Every one of those searches has come up empty. But what if every single one of those searches was in the wrong place? What if the key to finding Atlantis wasn't in the ocean, but was hidden in plain sight, in the last place anyone would ever think to look? What if the lost city isn't lost underwater, but buried under sand? To solve this, we have to go back to the beginning. The only original source for Atlantis comes from the Greek philosopher Plato, writing around 360 BC. In his dialogues, he gives us a specific set of clues, a checklist for finding a lost world. Let's look at them. Clue number 1, the date. He describes a powerful nation that existed 9,000 years before his time. That places it around 9,360 BC, or roughly 11,500 years ago from today, at the very end of the last ice age. Clue number 2, the location. He said it was a naval power in front of the Pillars of Hercules. We know this today as the Strait of Gibraltar. Clue number 3, the layout. He described its capital city in exquisite detail. Not just a city, but a magnificent, unique arrangement of concentric rings, alternating between land and water. A city of immense wealth and advanced engineering. And then the end. In one terrible day and night, it was gone, devoured by the sea, vanished. This is the story we all know. But what if we've been reading that checklist wrong? Let's start with the first clue, the geography. In front of the Pillars of Hercules. For centuries we assumed that meant in the Atlantic Ocean. But in front of is a directional clue. If you stand in the Mediterranean and look out through the Strait of Gibraltar, what is in front of you? The entire northwestern coast of Africa. Now, look at this. This is the Richat Structure, also known as the Eye of the Sahara, located in modern-day Mauritania. From the ground, it's a vast, enigmatic series of rock formations. But from above, its true nature is revealed. Concentric rings. Perfect, massive, unmistakable rings. Now, to be fair, geologists have a mainstream explanation for this. It's known as a domal uplift. The theory is that this structure was created from below, as molten rock pushed up the layers of crust from deep within the earth. Over millions of years, the different layers of rock, hard and soft, eroded at different rates, leaving behind the circular rings we see today. And for any other place on Earth, that would be the end of the story, a stunning natural wonder. But the Richat structure has a problem. The resemblance to Plato's description is staggering. It's not a vague similarity, it's a direct match. Let's go back to our checklist. Clue number 2, the location. In front of the Pillars of Hercules. Check. Clue number 3, the layout. A city of concentric rings, alternating land and water. Check. But this leads to the most obvious problem. How can a city of water rings be in the middle of the world's largest desert? The first thing we must understand is that the climate of the Sahara has not always been a desert. We have a mountain of evidence for this. Scientists call it the African humid period. Around 11,000 to 12,000 years ago, exactly matching Plato's timeline for Atlantis, the Sahara was a different world. It was a savanna, a greener, wetter place, laced with massive rivers and dotted with megalakes. How do we know? We found the fossilized remains of crocodiles and hippos. Satellite radar has pierced the sand and mapped the vast, dried-up river systems that once flowed across the land. And most powerfully, we have the art. All over the Sahara, on cave walls and rocks, ancient people painted scenes of their world. A world full of people swimming, and giant herds of giraffes, elephants, and cattle. So, the rings of water Plato described could have been canals, a grand circular harbor connected to a river system that has long since dried up. What is now a desert was once a potential paradise. The location fits. The description is unnervingly accurate. So, if this was Atlantis, what could have possibly happened to it? This brings us to the second piece of misunderstood common knowledge, the idea that the entire continent sank. Geologically, continents don't just sink. It's an impossibility that has made the story seem like a fairy tale. But a coastal city can be utterly destroyed. Let's go back to our checklist one last time. Clue number 1, the date. Around 11,500 years ago. Something catastrophic happened right at that time. The leading scientific theory is known as the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis. This theory suggests one or more fragments of a comet or asteroid struck the Earth, with the largest pieces possibly hitting the Great North American Ice Sheet. The immediate effects would have been apocalyptic. Imagine fire raining from the sky, a shockwave circling the globe, and an instantaneous flash fry effect on entire continents, followed by a sudden, devastating return to Ice Age conditions. But one of the most terrifying, long-range weapons from this impact would have been a mega tsunami. We are not talking about a wave like we see today. This would have been a wall of water, hundreds of meters high, moving at the speed of a jetliner across the Atlantic Ocean. Now, look at where this coastal city, the Richat Structure, would have been. It's on the northwestern coast of Africa, directly in the path of a transatlantic tsunami generated from North America. If the Richat Structure was a thriving coastal city, this is what it would have faced. A wave of unimaginable power, scouring the landscape, flooding deep inland, and obliterating everything in its path. It would have drowned the city in a single day, depositing layers of sediment and debris, and wiping a civilization off the map. This wasn't a slow sinking, it was a sudden, violent, and complete annihilation. The city wasn't swallowed by the sea because it was in the sea. The sea was thrown onto it with the force of a cosmic impact. The climate change that followed, this sudden return to an ice age, would have then triggered the desertification of the Sahara. The desert that replaced the green land would then bury the ruins for millennia. So, let's put the pieces together. We have a structure in the exact location Plato described. We have a layout that matches his description perfectly. And we have a cataclysmic event that matches the timing and the sheer destructive power of the Atlantis story. This theory moves the search from the bottom of the ocean to the heart of the desert. It replaces a geological impossibility a sinking continent with a documented historical catastrophe, a global flood triggered by a cosmic impact. The story of Atlantis may not be a fairy tale. It may be a folk memory, a terrifying, passed-down account of a real civilization that was erased from history by one of the worst disasters our planet has ever seen. It's not a story about a city that sank. It's a story about a city that was lost and then forgotten under the shifting sands of time. So, what do you think? Is the Eye of the Sahara the final resting place of Atlantis? Or is it just an incredible, mind-boggling geological coincidence? The search for the truth is never over. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you have another historical mystery you want us to investigate, tell me what it is.